Today it is a very special edition of the program. We're sad to announce Artis Ford is leaving. This is his last show. He is retiring from Mississippi State University after 32 years on Farmweek. And I have to ask, I know it's not possible, is there one story that could stick out amongst the how many you've done in that many years?
Well, you know, there are stories that stick out, but when I see a story, I can immediately remember pretty much what we did that day. I mean, it's that kind of memory comes back. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, there have been a lot of good. Main thing is the people you get to meet when you go out on the stories. So that's what makes the story special. And then we get to tell their story. And I always say, let's do the best job we can, because for a lot of these people, you know, this is their one time in the spotlight. So we want to make sure that spotlight shines properly on them.
Well, certainly in addition to me, you have worked with a lot of talented folks over these years, over these 32 years.
Of course, Tyson Gare was the managing editor of Farmweek when I came the first time. And so, you know, he really taught me how to do Farmweek, you know, and I admit my production agriculture knowledge was not, and so he taught me a lot about that as well.
And I think we have some photos. I think a photo of you and Tyson. Yeah,
we've got, it's hard to believe it. I always tell people I was 14 years old when I first started on Farmweek. That wasn't true, but I look so young sometimes. There's Tyson there on the left with Tim Meeks and Rebecca Therrell, and Tyson again on the right with Scott Huffman, and you and I, that's when you came, 1994, the first year you came. And then of course there's one of the TV Center crew photos, Brian Utley and with you and I, and then Amy Taylor Myers now.
That's right. You came in 2007, I believe.
Yeah.
And there again, you and Tyson, and this was back when Farmweek was done at Mississippi Public Broadcasting.
We were still down at Mississippi Public Broadcasting on there, and that's 1983. So that's somewhere in the first year that I was there. And boy, I tell you what, I look so young. I don't look like I should be reporting on anything. I don't look like I have any experience to do that.
And of course, as you saw there, the graphics for the market. You've seen a lot of changes, not only in agriculture, but in television technology over all these years.
Oh yeah. I mean, when I started out in the business, I worked for 2 commercial stations, news reporting, and we actually had film. I mean, we had 16 millimeter magnetic stripe film.
Right.
So I can say that I have spanned it all the way from film to digital.
Now, there's no telling how many miles you have traveled in all these years statewide. When we talk about 32 years just to get to all these different stories.
I remember one year I kept track of it, and I traveled about 30,000 miles in one year. Now that was when we used to have to still go to Jackson to produce the studio part of the show. But yeah, I kept track of it one year, and it was actually about 30,000 miles.
And so again, I believe it was 1991 was a landmark time when the show moved to Mississippi State University's campus.
Yep, in October of 1991, we moved from production down in Jackson to all the production being on campus. So, and so that's hard to believe too. I mean, I got quick calculations, that's 25 years ago.
That's right.
This fall, thereabouts.
So, it doesn't seem like it.
No, it doesn't at all. It will be 25 years ago this fall that we moved from public television up to the Mississippi State University campus.
And I'm sure we'll talk a little later more about what your plans are now for the future.
Well, I'm like everybody, you know, we're planning on traveling, that kind of thing. But I like old Volkswagens, plan on working on some of those, working on the family land down in Smith County. So there'll be things to keep me busy.
Well, know that our studio door will always be open for you, and I hope you will take our calls and questions along the way as well.
As long as you have a cup of coffee with you, I'll be all right. You know, we're planning on eventually moving down to Smith County to live on the land there, and I like to be outside, and so that'll work out well in terms of that, to be able to get out on a tractor and clean up around the place. So.